Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 65, Chapter 65, A Fire and a Flying Friend. Eraserhead is good at hiding his reactions. Touya will give him that much. But Touya is good at reading people. He can tell that Eraserhead is surprised. Do you know where? Touya looks out his window. No clue. Too many fucking kids. Besides, she's invisible, remember? Eraserhead ignores his attitude and gets out of the car. He opens Toya's side and gestures him out. Shoto follows suit from the back seat. By the time all the doors are shut, Hawks was walking up to their little group. Hawks, there's a villain here, but we don't know where. Let the commission know so they can be on high alert and send backup if needed. Don't let Touya out of your sight. Yes, sir. Hawks pulls out his phone to do as Eraser said. Touya waves to his brother as he's pulled away. Hawks makes friendly conversation as they make their way to their seats in the exam hall. Touya hardly pays attention, too focused on the looks he's getting from some of the heroes presented. He only tunes back in when they sit down. Hey, don't pay attention to them. They don't know much about the situation, so they might be a little wary of you. That's an understatement. Hawks just grins at him, probably from finally getting a response. Eraserhead finally joins them, but he's tense, probably worried about the kids being around a potential villain attack again. Touya's worried too. He tried to keep his brother out of this, but if the villain really is here, But if the villain really is here, she's probably out to get little Sho. Shouta tries to pay attention to the exam, but he truly has no clue what's going on. Their seats are high enough that all they can hear are the announcements made by those running the exam. At least Hawks and Eraserhead seem to have an understanding of what's going on. They lean forward from where they sit on either side of him, paying close attention to the test. Touya at least understands what most of the kids are eliminated. He gets the whole rescue thing too. He thinks at the end of the exam, where the buzzer sounds, and there's a call to meet back at the center. It's when kids start dropping that he turns his confused gaze to the pros beside him. They looked equally as shocked, and Eraserhead is speaking quietly into his phone. Touya turns his gaze back to the area, trying to spot any familiar faces. He finally finds little Sho. He's off to one side, with Eraserhead's kid and the redhead from the training camp. Touya looks back to where the kids are dropping for seemingly no reason, and curses when he sees that it's heading in the trio's direction. Hawks. He can't just go there without a pro hero with him. He'll be suspective of whatever this is. Yeah, I see it. Eraserhead. We're going on ahead. The man studies them for a second before nodding and focusing back on his phone. Touya and Hawk start moving. They make their way towards the front row of the seats before turning in the right direction. The students are at the far end of the arena, and he's worried they won't make it in time. He keeps his eye on the group, hardly paying attention to where he steps as Hawks takes flight above him. There's a flash of a figure in front of the group, but he blinks, and they're gone again. The trio is separating, and it looks like they're looking for someone. Shit. Why would they separate in a villain attack? What the hell is wrong with these kids? Part of the ceiling crashes down. The debris miraculously falls over an empty part of the arena. If the other kids didn't know something was going on before, they sure do now. Fucking Endeavor floats down from the hole. He has his eye on the scene in front of them. He seems to catch another flash of a person at the same time that Touya does. Endeavor flies closer to the group and takes a familiar stance. Oh, fuck no. Touya pushes himself to run faster. The attack that Endeavor's planning is dangerous, it's widespread, and there's 3 students that very much are in the blast radius. Apparently he doesn't care about innocent lives then, even if one of them is his own son. He's nearly there when Shoto notices him. He directs his brother's attention to the sky, and he starts moving too. He's close enough to Eraserhead's kid that he could cover them both with thick enough ice to protect them, but the redhead is too far away for proper protection. Looks like Touya is trying something new. Before he gives himself the time to think, Touya leaps over the guardrail that's blocking off the seats. He uses his quirk to direct his fall, and lands a few feet away from his target. The kid balances when he sees Touya running at him. He doesn't have time for the niceties. He dives forward, knocking the kid to the ground. Touya curls around him as he activates his quirk, jumping straight into a wonky version of Prominent Burn. He focuses his flames on his back, taking the power that would easily come from his whole body and concentrating it. He keeps his front as cool as possible, trying to protect the kid from the worst of the heat. He hasn't tried this specific alteration, but he hopes that the heat of his flames is enough to burn away endeavors. His quirk has always been hotter than a man's, so he's almost confident in his success. The flames do awful things to his body, but they're enough protection from Endeavor. He just hopes that he could last long enough. Endeavor's fire stops sooner than expected, but Touya doesn't release his quirk. Instead, he looks up warily to see what's going on. Eraserhead is walking their way, a murderous look on his face. That alone is enough for Touya to drop his quirk. It only then that the pain registers. His back feels like it's on fire, even though he had already put out his own. By the feel of his skin, as he shifts, Touya knows that he'll have a few new scars to add to his collection. At least he has people he can help tend his wounds this time. Behind Eraserhead, Little Show's ice of wall is completely melted. He and his friend stand there frozen, both looking at them. The redhead shifts in his arms, so Touya slowly uncurls himself from around him. He sits up carefully, wary of the damage he's done to his back. Touya turns to see where Eraserhead has gone, and finds him maybe 15 feet away, yelling at Endeavor. The pain is making it hard to hear things, but he knows that the number 2 hero fucked up when Eraserhead punches him in the face. "Hello there, Dabi. It's wonderful to see you." It's the voice of his goddamn nightmares. The invisible bitch that followed him around. Fuck. He'd forgotten about her appearance, of his number 1 tormentor. The voice comes from a few feet in front of him, so Touya aims his glare at her approximate location. The air shimmers, and a woman appears. He's never seen her before in his life, but he can make an educated guess as to who she is. "Aren't you glad to see me?" His stalker smiles at him as she pulls a gun and aims it at his face. Wow, we went from 0 to 100. Okay, fuck Endeavor. Endeavor is becoming a bitch. Like, I actually don't like Endeavor anymore. Like, fuck you, Endeavor. Like, what the fuck? All that progress gone. And for what? Fuck you, you fucking whore. Something I forgot to mention in yesterday's video. By the way, it's still the 15th. I'm trapped here. Is the fact that, no, it's an off day, alright? I don't have anybody to talk to. Most of my friends are, unavailable today. Currently my partner's working. Like, I have nobody else to talk to. The only thing I have is AO3 and me, alright? AO3 is my favorite. AO3 is my lover. AO3 my love. Anyways, moving on. I forgot to mention in yesterday, for you guys, yesterday's videos, or, the video that I recorded like a couple moments ago, or 2 moments ago? No, I don't remember. Whatever, point taken is Shindeku. We had a Shindeku moment. The fact that Izuku admitted the fact that he wants Hitoshi, or as he calls him, Toshi, to be more than just a friend. We're at the halfway point. That was at the halfway point. And we're a little past the halfway point right now. But, interesting. So I kind of got it right. It was going to be at the halfway point. Okay, so chapter 66 is of weapons and a ringing. Summary: yet another villain attack on Class 1A. Won't these kids ever get a break? Notes: hey, welcome back. So this chapter is a little more violent than the usual updates. Trigger warning for descriptions of blood and injury. There's also a minor flashback, as well as mentions of burning flesh and character Okay. A character also vomits, but it's nothing descriptive. Also swearing, but that's expected in this fic by now. LOL. Enjoy. Heart. Foreplay, I love you, but what is this? You can't do this to me. Oh! I accidentally pressed a thingy. Fuck. Okay, there you go. I'm back. Alright, but, Interesting. I also just realized that this is part of what's it called? A series? A series called Trying, so that's, Trying to Survive and then Trying to Understand by Floorplay, which is a one-shot. This next one is another Trying to Survive the Editing Process. I might do these, if the author lets me do these. I might do these. Just Trying to Become a Family by Foreplay? The disaster at UA is over, so Izuku could- I'm not gonna read, because then I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of myself. So I'm not gonna read that. I'm not gonna read. I realize that if I read, I'll spoil myself. It'll be, As My Heart Gives Out all over again. No, that's Before My Heart Gives Out all over again. I spoiled myself with the As My Heart Gives Out. That spoiled the fuck out of me because I decided to read the summary of the next one, and, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I think I may have spoiled myself a little bit because I read something. I read 2 words, I'm like, oh, okay, oh, ha ha ha, okay, ha 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 ha, you know? So, love spoiling myself by accident. Anyways, that's enough. My predictions is, pain, agony, and pain. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.